to the coaching staff under Manny Diaz.
Yeah.
Where do you have the most trust? Where do you have the most question marks?
It's a really good question. I have the most trust. I mean, I think it's going to be, it's going to make sense when I say it. I have the most trust in the guys who have been here the longest. So Ephraim Bonda and Mike Rumpf, a little bit below them. I would say Pat Key, the outside linebackers coach. And then Todd Stroud on that same level as Pat Key, because he's been just in, coaching college for 30 years. So the defensive side of the ball, that's where I have the most confidence or security. And that's not to say that there's not room for improvement, because I think that there is, but they've been here and I've seen their work in transforming Miami's defense back into a Miami defense, not that passive group that Mark D'Onofrio coordinated at the direction of Al Golden. So I'm not going to just absolve Al Golden from that. D'Onofrio did run the defense that Golden told him to run, which is also the defense that he chose to run at Houston, which got him up and out of there in a season or less. So the defensive coaches are the ones that I have the most confidence in. Quickly rising up that rank also is Eric Hickson, the running backs coach, because he's a carryover, obviously, from last year. And Stephen Field, my guy. I forgot about my guy. I've known Coach Field since he was at Miami Northwestern senior high school. So he would be towards the top of the list for me as well, just because of my connection with him and knowing how he's done work, whether it's in Miami Northwestern, North Marion, the Florida A&M recruiting department, Louisville, Oregon. I've seen Stephen or Coach Field have a bunch of different jobs. So he would be at the top of the list for me, up there with those guys as well. The ones that I want to just see what happens, Blake Baker in year 2, that's a question mark for me, because Manny Diaz had to go over to the defensive side to settle things down and impose our version of accountability and things like that in the first year last year. So I want to see what happens when the training wheels are off. You know what I mean? I think that bringing Blake Baker in from Louisiana Tech, because he took over for Manny when Manny left Louisiana Tech for Miami, or for Mississippi State before he came to Miami. But bringing in someone who took over for him to take over for him again makes sense. But Louisiana Tech and Miami are on 2 different levels. And I want to see if he can continue to have the defense play to the level that needs to at this level. You know what I mean? So that's a question mark for me. And then not necessarily based upon past performance or anything, but just because they're new, Garen Justice and Rhett Lashley and Rob Likens on offense. That's your offensive coordinator, offensive line coach, and wide receivers coach. They've done good work other places. I just need to see them do it here at Miami. And it's similar to, other coaches that we've brought in have done really good work other places, and it wasn't the greatest at Miami. We've seen these teams for Miami for the last 15 years be talented. So, on paper, supposed to go, 10-2, 11-1, it's crazy to think that they're going to lose more games than that. If you remember, Mark, I read you the riot act last year because you said 8-4, and my brain exploded on this very channel. You can go back and look up that video. I went ballistic, but Miami got in Miami's way. So I say all that to say that even though Likens and Justice and Lashley have done solid work elsewhere, I need to see them do it here. That's my area of concern. But from a schematic standpoint, reading what Justin DeTavio and others are putting up about Lashley's offense, I'm hyped. If you look back at what Arizona State did with Likens there, look, and he has 2 first-round draft picks, Brandon Ayuk and N'Keal Harry, that he coached because he was offensive coordinator and wide receivers coach. You get guys, and Brandon Ayuk was a junior college 3-star who transferred over there, or he was a 4-star prospect coming out of junior college, but then he goes first round. All right, cool. I want to see that. Rhett Lashley, you know, he even talked about it. He's scheming guys with 4.6, 4.7 speed, butt naked, wide open, and run away from guys. But now you come to Miami, you got guys running 4.3, 4.4, 4.5. Hey, yo, I want to see that here too. Garen Justice, again, solidly respected. Obviously does work on the recruiting trail, both in this class, getting Isaiah Walker, and then in the 2021 class, getting a couple guys already, including Ryan Rodriguez from Columbus. Yo, okay, there's reason to be excited. However, there were reasons to be excited about these other coaches and these other players and these other teams. So that's my level of not discontent, but uncertainty and what I need to see proven in a certain way moving forward.